Hey guys, welcome back to Words of War. My name is Jorge Guerra.
And I'm Sergio Guerra.
And today we're going to be covering Elysium with Matt Damon and Jodie Foster.
Yeah, Elysium, it's a movie kind of taking place in the short future. 2154, I believe, was the year that they put on there. Earth has kind of been left behind by the rich and powerful. You know, the people, the well-to-dos have gone up into a kind of space station thing called Elysium that allows them to, you know, live out like fantasy lives, really. I mean, that's how they play it throughout the whole movie. It's the place to go. That's you don't age, you heal, there's no sickness, anything. I mean, if you've seen the commercials, you probably know a little bit about it. And Earth is the opposite. Everyone trying to kind of, you know, aspire to the type of life in Elysium, but actually is more like slums. So it follows the character of Matt Damon here, who actually you know, is trying to get up to Elysium for different reasons. He's been kind of a bad seed, but now he's kind of like trying to change that to make sure he gets up there. And, you know, along the way he gets into a little bit of trouble, and he ends up kind of, without having to give too much away, he kind of ends up having to go to Elysium. And so he makes a deal with somebody, a little unlawful or whatever, to try and get up there. So you follow that journey all the way through. There's a couple of characters in it. You know, as far as the story, it's pretty much all I want to say because I don't want to ruin anything. You know, what do you think overall of the story?
Overall, honestly, like, you know, it's a sci-fi movie, you know, but I love a sci-fi movie that is about the story, not about the sci-fi. And I think this movie did that extremely well. You know, the characters, they took the time to develop Matt Damon's character, which was Max, that was his name. But yeah, they took the time to develop the character, really like give you that motivation or his motivation of what's going on, you know, the way he thinks. So you really get to know this person, and I think that was time very well spent in the movie because you really kind of care about the journey. And I'm a big fan of the hero's journey, kind of, sort of. And this movie was all about that, just pretty much, you know, who he was when he started and who he was when he finished. And again, like, I just really love the fact that this movie was more about the story than it was about the sci-fi. The CGI in it was really good, I thought. If you like District 9, I mean, it's got that kind of feel. There was a little bit too much camera shake sometimes for me, but beyond that, I really liked it. What did you think?
Well, you know, I also agree. I really thought it was a good ride. It was very entertaining all the way through. There's some movies that like literally pull you into the story and you just follow through, you know, and you forget it's a movie. This is the kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's everything. There's a lot of attention put into making the world very real. Like George said, the CG was like was used very well, and it looked very real. I mean, they spent the time and the money probably on making sure that looked real. Overall, everything you see here is totally plausible with what we know today, and I think that made a huge difference. There was no giant leaps really of like your mind having to say, okay, well maybe that'll happen. No, it's stuff we've seen already before in movies, and it's things that we're close to doing scientifically right in this at this moment in time. So I think the director did a really great job of building that world, and like George said, building the characters. And so it was great to follow their journey all the way through. It's exciting, you know. It puts you into the character's shoes, like George said, and there's a lot of action. You know, the camera shaking, I agree a little bit, but it's not so much that distracts you ever, you know. So I mean, I'm really hard pressed to think of anything negative about the movie. It had, you know, well, let me say something, because if not I'll keep talking or whatever, but like one of the best things about this movie is that it not only was entertaining, okay, but it had a point. Yeah. Like there was things that I think this movie was trying to say. I mean, would you agree about like immigration, not necessarily just like within the United States, but the whole thing of, you know, keeping things away from other people that you can easily, you know, get away.
I think for me it was more of a message. Well, the way I thought about it was it had this message of like how easy it is for us to separate ourselves from the human side of other people, you know what I mean, and start hoarding things for ourselves because we want. And for me, that's kind of what the whole Elysium thing kind of like represented. But it was done extremely well to where like there's some movies that it feels like they're trying to shove a message down your throat, you know, and this one just it was just there. You kind of start coming to those conclusions, and those are sometimes some of the best movies, the ones that get you thinking, because it makes you become more invested in the film. You know, it's because of that. Like, this movie for me wasn't trying to be a summer blockbuster wasn't trying to be Michael Bay sci-fi. You know, it was definitely it was more film than it was just a roller coaster ride. You know.
Yeah,
so,
and on that too, you know, obviously Matt Damon, great actor.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, the performance is great all the way through. You know. I can't necessarily say this would probably win him awards,
Yeah.
you know, because of maybe of the type of movie
Context,
it is.
yeah.
But I mean, I think overall, I mean, the point is just to be realistic and make your
Yeah.
character real to people. And so he definitely succeeded in that, making a lot of the scenes that could seem fake or whatever, you know, very grounded. And so, I mean, I think that's amazing work by him. And then the villain in the movie, Jodie Foster, she's just an amazing actress. Always just watching her, you know, performances. And in this case, same thing. She could have played this, or this character could have been played very over the top, you know.
Yeah.
And she did it with like a with like a sense of holding back. Like, you could see her character, you know, was holding something back, and maybe not allowing the egomaniac to surface. And I think to do that, to be able to work in those kind of layers, you know, that to make them believable, make other people like, you know, understand that they're there. Yeah, that's amazing to me. So I really thought that all the actors did really good. It had a point. The film had, you know, some social commentary. It was very entertaining, and so for me, as far as rating on this film, I'd have to give it a 9. I think it was a really, really good movie. It's not the kind of movie I would go see all the time. I'm more attracted to horror movies and like comedies, and so I might have just totally missed this movie. And the only reason I give it a 9 out of 10 is because you could probably get away with not watching this movie, and I mean, it's not like it's going to change your life.
Yeah.
Now I reserve a 10 for something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So, but strong 9, very enjoyable. You can watch it on your own with families, friends. I mean, no matter what, it's really good. Pick it up or go check it out. You know.
Yeah. Me personally, I would probably go with a 9 as well. Well, I want to give it a 9.5, but the only thing for me that kind of makes me go back to the 9 is the fact that I think you have to give this movie a chance. It's not something that's necessarily universal. Like you said, you might have missed it just because of the fact that it didn't call to you. So I think that's what's keeping me away from 9.5. But if you do watch it, I mean, it's definitely in that caliber where it's like it's a great movie. But overall, I think for in general audience, like, that it would fall in a 9 for me. Since I like this kind of stuff, I definitely would go with 9.5. But it's really good. I'd recommend it. You know. Yeah. But you know, if you check it out, let us know what you think about it in the comments. You know, always just go ahead and chat it up, whatever the case may be. But like, subscribe, all that jazz. But again, this is Jorge Guerra.
Sergio Guerra, thanks for watching.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.